All right, everybody. It is Wednesday night, so we are 1 week and let's see, we're 7 days and what, like 2 hours and 15 minutes away from Thanksgiving. So countdown is on. In the meantime, here's what we are watching. There's actually a lot to talk about, and really the big weather stories that we have here. It's what's inside of this forecast. I know this is the graphic that I usually hold off and show at the very end of my forecast, but I want to just jump straight into this right now because the details that we're having here is what we have in here for Sunday, Monday, and then going into late next week. And so for the last couple of weeks, I've been looking at the long range data, kind of looking at just the overall long wave weather pattern, and it has been at times highlighting on a surge of cold air coming in. Then it kind of goes away from that, and then it goes back in, and then it goes back out. But over the last 2 to 3 days, I've seen the cold signal starting to be a little bit more apparent going into late next week. So we're going to be trending much, much colder, and we'll go over that here in just a second. In the meantime, let's go over some of the newest stuff that we have coming in. Brand new weather model run just dumped not that long ago. And let's talk about the rain, and it's all rain, by the way, going into Sunday and Monday. So the storm system kind of slowed down just a little bit. Let me show you where it is. It's actually still spinning. Like this, the center of the low is still off the coast of like well west of San Francisco and Los Angeles. You can see quite a bit of moisture though, kind of surging up ahead of it. But right now, it looks like this system has kind of slowed down just a little bit. So I've taken most of the rain out of the forecast now for Saturday, and basically now just putting it in there for Sunday. Let me go ahead and drag this over, kind of show you the latest that we have coming in here. Okay, so this right here, this is the GFS model that we have in here. So the GFS model, this is early Sunday morning. Shows a little bit of light rain out across western Oklahoma. Here, let me kind of size this up a little bit more. There you go. Shows a little bit of light rain out across western Oklahoma as we go into Sunday morning. This is going to be right around 6 a.m. Sunday morning. By noon, scattered showers in central Oklahoma. And then that ejects to the east as we go into late Sunday night and into early Monday. Oh, oh, Robert, you got stuck in Denver. Oh, no, you had no delays. Well, you know what? I'm glad that you didn't have any delays. I always have delays in Denver. So that's a good, you had a good flight. You had a real good flight there. But anyway, so with this system, so here's what's going to happen. So the rain's going to move to the east as we go into late Sunday night. We get some drier air in here for a bit, and then we have some additional moisture coming in on the backside of this system as we go into late Monday and into early Tuesday, and then that will lift out of here. Then we go through kind of a bit of a break, and then we get another storm system that kind of clips us as we go into Friday. So much colder air moving in, and then more moisture coming in for Sunday. What I'm concerned about, though, is that temperatures may be just cold enough to where this could be a little bit of ice. See these blue lines? That typically indicates that we're talking about temperatures at the freezing mark. Let me look at temperatures. Yeah, this has us in the 20s as we go into the Sunday after Thanksgiving. This is the GFS model, by the way. But there is definitely some colder air coming in. And so we'll have to watch the weekend after for a little bit of light ice coming in here. But again, that will be Sunday afternoon when a lot of us are coming back from Thanksgiving travel. Something to keep an eye on. Let's see here. Valerie says there's rumors of an active December. So we'll kind of go into that right now. Definitely the long-range pattern, as you would expect with a strong El Nino, would indicate that we're likely going to see a pretty wet wintertime. So we've been kind of talking a lot about that. I would say there's absolutely no rumors to that. I would say it's probably fact that typically in the summer or in the winter months, we are wetter than normal. Now, whether it's snow, whether it's ice, we'll have to wait and see. But look at the precip anomaly map that we have here as we go into the beginning of December here. All of this blue and green that you see indicates they're being wetter than normal conditions. You see a lot of that, a very active storm pattern out across the West Coast, out across the Rockies, down into Texas, up into Canada, and even some of that coming in to Oklahoma as well. As you can see here, the second week of December, there's a lot of blue that would be wetter than normal across the plains, and so it definitely does look pretty wet, which I would say would line up pretty close to average. Wetter than normal. Check out the temperature anomaly here. We're running. Looks like it would probably be mostly rain until we go into the second half of December, when we see a cold front come in here and below average temperatures. So does it look like winter weather is looming out there? Yes, it absolutely does. Especially as we go into the second half of December. First half of December, maybe a little bit more rain than ice, and then the second half may turn a bit wintry, and we have a couple weeks to watch that one. Could we see an ice storm the Sunday after Thanksgiving? So we'll go back over that. The Euro model, the GFS model earlier, which is an American model, was highlighting at the potential for some wintry weather. Let's see if the Euro model has it in there for the weekend after. This only goes up to Saturday, so right now the only model I have that goes that far out is a GFS. There's a new data run coming in as we speak, but it does indicate at least a threat for some ice coming in here the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So new outlook for winter. Not really a whole lot has changed from my previous outlook that I have in there. Do I have a winter outlook made yet? Yes, Valerie. We released that last week. Head on over to the weather blog section on KOCO.com and you can get it there. But I'll show you right now the seasonal outlook that we have here. Let me go into products. Let's see here. Monthly temperature. This says for December. Oh, Jack, it's too early. Probably not, though. Power outages. That's still about 12 days out. So here's your newest temperature outlook that we have for December. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this just looks at the month for a whole. So you can have like a really, really, really warm first half to the month and then a cold second half. But when you average it all together, it still comes out as being milder than normal. This is the newest outlook. This came in this evening, December. Warmer than normal for the plains, the west. Going into January, near to slightly cooler than normal. February, cooler than normal. This is just taking hard data. Let's see how consistent this has been. Now, last night's model run, it has a slightly below average. How about 2 nights ago? Below average. Warmer than normal. Definitely looks like there's quite a bit of inconsistency. You got to get plugged into that. So the jury is still out. From a rain outlook for December, this says eastern Oklahoma is drier than normal. Central, western Oklahoma down to Texas would be wetter than normal. Again, there's still a lot of kind of flip-flopping going around. We'll have to wait and see. Data's been pretty consistent, though, for January and February there being wetter than normal. Again, we are anticipating a strong El Nino to have an impact on our weather this year. So a couple things to keep in mind, just based off of what history tells us, is that when you are dealing with a strong El Nino, let me find my graphics here that I made. A strong El Nino would favor. We've had 7 since the 1940s. Six of them are wet. 1 was dry. So history would favor us having a wetter than normal winter. It would also favor us having a snowy winter. Now, I see a lot of y'all, do you think we're going to have a blizzard, snowstorms, or we're going to have a white Christmas? It is way too early to be talking about a white Christmas. Any given year, whether we have El Nino, La Nina, or nothing going on, Oklahoma only has like a 2 to 3% chance of a white Christmas. That means that in a century, 2 or 3 of those Christmases may be snowy. The other 97, 98 are not going to be snowy. So we still have we still have a ways to go. So as far as looking ahead into next month, while the weather pattern would favor us trending a bit cooler and wetter, there's still a lot to look at. I feel like we're always in a battleground when it comes to our weather, where 30 degrees and you're talking about ice or snow, or 33 or 34 and you're talking about a really cold rain. So time will tell what we have in here. But at least as of next week, the main story is mainly just going to be cold weather moving in. Let me get an update here again. This is the GFS model that's currently rolling in as we speak. So it's only gone out to Saturday. It's going to take a while. It's probably going to take about another 30 minutes for it to come in. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, KOCO5 News. Starts in a couple minutes. Got to jump on over there. Anyways, have a wonderful night, and we'll see. It's November 15th, so we still have 5 weeks to go before Christmas. We'll watch it closely. Have a good night, everybody.